I said, what did the locker room look like? They said, Joe, you don't want to know.
Well, our locker room, to put it mildly, was crappy.
Well, you know, it wasn't like what you would expect in a major college.
It was horrible.
Syracuse stressed on the Irving Avenue end and boy, I tell you, compared to what locker rooms are today, it was just almost a big old empty barn area storage.
When I talked to contemporaries of mine that were visiting teams, they have nothing good to say about Archbold.
And here's the funny thing. Our locker rooms are bad enough. Think what the visitors' locker room was like.
The visiting team had to go towards Archbold gym.
I never visited our opponent's locker room, but I heard it was worse than ours.
They gave me a description of it, and I went like this. I go, glad I'm not a visitor playing here.
And if it was worse than ours, gosh, it must have been pretty bad.
There was a spiral staircase you had to go down to get to the field.
Which only one person could go up or down. So you had to go up to take a shower too, so you were there forever.
So that made for some interesting problems, shall we say, for behemoths to be climbing up this circular staircase. It couldn't have been a good sight going up or down, for that matter.
I don't know how that would work out. We walked through the tunnel.
You know, it did have some creepy crawlers. I guess that's a nice way to say it.
And they had kept some dogs in a room right above our locker room. Now, Frank Maloney was our head coach. He was an Irishman. Now, Irishmen tend to get a little bit, you know, into it. They're a little emotional. So when he's giving the old Newt Rockne pregame speech, right, he's just whipping it up and everybody's getting and you hear the dogs start howling and they're barking like this. And you're like trying not to laugh, you know. And here's Frank. He's whipping up. We got to beat these guys. He goes, oh, you know what I mean? It was all crazy stuff going on. You're like, whoa, this is like very surreal.
You know, you're taken aback by some of the stuff that you see.
Some science thing was going on in the next room where they had like a rat laboratory. So you always had that smell in there.
I suppose one of the most unusual things is, did you know that they had a nuclear reactor?
I should probably say I'm not too surprised.
No, not the nuclear reactor. I don't know what that was all about, but you know.
And part of Archbold, concrete, you know, so they could do nuclear reactor experiments with part of the concrete.
Was it there during the latter years of Archbold?
That didn't last for very long, but that was part of the building for a while.
Wow, that's yeah. Any way to make a buck, I guess.
You just never know what you're going to find in that locker room. I mean, you know, you could have Jimmy Brown's shoes sitting there since, you know, 1950 something.
It was more fun being out on the field than it was being in our locker room.